Hey guys, I want to do a quick review of this Hobbymate D6 Pro Duo LiPo charger. I've been using it for a couple months now, and I like it. It seems to do what it's supposed to do. It's got 2 channels. It'll do 200 watts on AC and 650 watts on DC. I haven't tested that DC, but the 200 watts on AC seems to be accurate. What I'd like to do today, I'm not going to go over a bunch of specs or, go over the menu system too much or anything like that. We will plug it in for a second. I want to go ahead and pull this apart, take a look inside, see how it's designed, see if the construction looks decent, see if they're using, decent caps or if it's a little mess in there, and just kind of see how it looks as far as the build quality goes, and then give you my opinion on that as well. I'll go ahead and plug this in, and that beep cannot be turned off, which is fine as long as you don't have someone trying to sleep while you're trying to charge some batteries. You got the 2 status screens here. You can switch between channels like this. You can, once you're in a channel, you hit this wheel and it gives you tasks, charging. You got the different battery types, the cell voltage you want to go to. The cell count, it's really nice when you connect to the balance port. It automatically changes the cell count for you, which I enjoy. Set your current, start task. If you're on LIHV and you go to start charging, I don't know, I don't have a battery hooked up, so I don't know if it's going to do it, but yeah, when you're on LIHV, it will actually warn you that you're on LIHV and make sure you want to charge that way. I like that, that's nice. I get a little bit confused sometimes going back and forth between the channels. That's not really the interface's fault. There's not a lot of buttons on here, so there's not like a switch. It's like A button, B button, channel 1 or 2 button, but it works out okay. You hit it once, it goes to the first channel, second channel, and then both channels. Kind of no matter what's going on, it does that. I kind of wish if I was charging on channel 2 and nothing on channel 1, I hit the button, it would go automatically at channel 2. It doesn't do that. That's okay. That's not really its fault. It's just kind of by design. It's got a 5-volt 2.1 amp port on the side. It's got wireless charging on the top. Yes, they both work. It has a USB connector for connecting to a computer for monitoring and things like that. I haven't used it. You may. I don't know. XT60s on the front. Balance ports. All good. The fan on it stays on all the time. It ramps up and down, but it will not shut off, which is fine. I don't really like to leave my electronics plugged in when I'm not using them anyway, because I don't want to put undue wear and tear on them. I've charged dozens and dozens of packs on balance boards, off balance boards, and so far it's been fine. So what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and open this up. I see there's some screws on the bottom here. Not really sure how it comes apart, but we're going to get this opened up, take a look inside, and see what it looks like. Okay, well that was fun. It turns out there's 2 screws in the back bottom here, and then 2 screws under the little faceplate on the top. Taking my faceplate off, I got a few little nicks here, put a little nick on the screen. Should be fine. So it looks like this is loose now, so we'll go ahead and pull this top cover off. Got some wires connected to the cover, of course. Okay, so we see we've got 2 connectors here for the faceplate. So I'll go ahead and pull these off. It's interesting, I see AC and an exclamation point here. I wonder, does the screen have its own power supply? I don't know. Anyway, so here's the back side of the screen. Here's the back side of the wireless charging. This all looks fairly neat. This inductor, maybe? I'm not sure. Is not exactly on there straight. Must have been hand soldered or just wasn't QC'd very well. I see that I see these screws here are put in at an angle. I guess that's just kind of by design, but it's not exactly the nicest way of putting things together, but yeah, I guess it works. Let's put this aside. Alright, so looks like we've got a power supply in here. It is, okay, I see Meanwell on here, which is interesting. If this is a Meanwell supply, that would be a really, really good thing. Alright, so this is something once again, I don't really like to see. We've got 4 screw holes here, but we're missing a screw. So not exactly loving the assembly quality here, but let's get these screws out. So this will be the AC power supply. And yeah, I mean, it appears to be a Meanwell power supply, which is actually excellent. I was not expecting to see that in here. Meanwell makes very good quality power supplies. They're used in all sorts of things. So let's go ahead and pull this board now. I do want to be careful because we've got caps in here and I don't want to hurt myself. So we're just going to carefully see if we can get this pulled out. Okay, so yeah, this looks like a Meanwell. It's like plenty of protection on here. Sorry, I'm out of the frame. Looks like we got protection caps. All the capacitors on the supply are Rubicon, which definitely leads me to believe that this is definitely a Meanwell supply. We've got the input here. Okay, so yeah, so this AC goes directly up to the screen, which is kind of weird. I'm surprised about that. I guess they've got a separate supply, like I said, on for the screen, possibly for some of the electronics. Not too much to see here. I mean, like I said, this is a Meanwell power supply, so it's going to be good stuff. So we've got the AC coming in, and we've got DC going out down there. Just going to kind of hang this back, and we'll take a look at the board. Connectors for XT60 are genuine AMAS, appear to be genuine AMAS at least. On the board, we've got an little ARM processor, some other chips. I'm not that familiar with this stuff. I do see the buzzer down here. I might put a piece of tape over that. Some unused pins in the back. That looks like it may be a programming header. That could be fun to get into. Got a little fan here, unlabeled. And that is just about it. Got some caps. The layout of the board looks clean. I don't see any bodge wires. It's all reflow soldered for the most part. I'm sure these connectors aren't, but I'm not going to take the board out to look at it. So that looks pretty good. It looks very compact. I'm really, really happy to see a Meanwell power supply in here. I'm actually kind of surprised. I was not expecting to see that. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back together, and then we're going to plug in a couple of batteries and test to see what it says the voltage is versus what the voltage actually is on my Good Fluke meter. Alright, so let me get this put back together. Alright, got everything back together. Wanted to let you know there is a soldered on fuse in the Meanwell power supply, so if you know what you're doing and you lose the power from the AC side, you might want to go in there and check that fuse. What I want to do now is I want to hook a couple batteries up and see if what the power supply, the charger, is saying the voltages are lines up with what my Fluke says the voltages are. In the viewfinder, I can't see these individual cell voltages, so I'll let you know what they are. Hopefully you can see them, but if you can't, I'll let you know what it says, and we'll check it against what it says on there. So I got a little 4S750 here I'm going to plug in. Just got it plugged into a balance board down here. So we'll go ahead and get that plugged in. And we're showing 15.40 total voltage for that pack. So let me get the Fluke in here, and we will see what it says. 15.39, so that's pretty close. I like that. That's good enough. So let's check the individual cells. I've got 385 showing on cell 1. 3848, good. Cell 2, 3847. That's about right. Cell 3, close, and cell 4 looks about right. Okay, good. So that's close. I mean, it's not exactly right on the money, but it's close enough. Let's go ahead and look. I got a little 2S pack here I want to look at as well, just to see what the total voltage shows on the lower end. So we're showing 7.79 volts. Let's see what it shows on the Fluke. 7.73. So it's close. It's not right on the money. I mean, I don't know that this Fluke is exactly accurate, but I've tested it against my 5.5-digit fluke, and it's pretty close. So I think it's close enough. So final thoughts. I like it. I think that it represents a good value. I'm really impressed with the AC power supply in there. It means that Hobbymate really wanted to make sure that this thing lasted a good long while. If they wanted to, they could have just cheaped out and thrown whatever no-name brand power supply, AC power supply in there and called it a day, but they went ahead and went the extra mile, which I really appreciate. Some people will not like that the fan runs all the time. I don't really care. There's no switch on the back. That is one thing I kind of wish that they would do, but it is what it is. So all in all, it seemed like a really decent charger. I like it. I'm going to keep using it. I'd say, yeah, pick one up. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.